Leopard Gecko Health Band. Today we're going to be doing a video on crickets. Now, not just, boring crickets. We're going to be talking about the feeding, the dusting, everything about crickets. So starting off with the kind of size things you want to keep them in. These are just the generic containers that they come in. But just for an example, if you had the money, you'd probably want to invest in something like this for some crickets. And only if they're on a good deal. These are quite expensive ones. You can get relatively cheap ones down in Euro shops and things. So what would you feed them, you're probably wondering? Well, you can get these little jelly pots, or you could make a mixture, or you could just give them some lettuce. Now, most people just feed them some lettuce, but I think the little tubs, they're not the best because they're full of sugar. You don't really want to give them to your geckos if they're really full of sugar. So what we have in this little rock here is we have some dusted crickets. So I'm going to show you what they look like. Okay, so dusty crickets. They have Reptivite and some BFR on them right now. If you don't know about Reptivite and BFR, check out another video. Okay, so if you're going to give them to your gecko, always cover them in the vitamins and minerals and gut load them. So to gut load them, just throw them in a little container, put in some lettuce and leave them for 24 hours before you feed. So if you don't really like touching the bugs, I'd recommend you invest in one of these. What they are these little reptile rock feeders. So I know they're meant to go like that, but I think it's better this way. It's better for the crickets. They can easily just climb out. Or you could just get some tweezers, which is what I use. But the kind of minerals and things you would want to use would be like Reptivite. I'd recommend putting some of this on the crickets, and there's one more thing that you can use. Well, you'd only really use Reptivite if they're kind of you'd always use Reptivite up to from birth up until they die, really. But you'd only start using BFR when they're how many months old? I'd recommend starting using BFR at 8 months old, but before that, just use the Reptivite. But you use both of them when they're 8 months plus. Yeah. So what I'd recommend doing is kind of giving a mixture, and of course you need to give them calcium as well. But here you can see it says with D3, so we use that most of the time, and occasionally use BFR. So that's usually what we just coat them in. And then, how much do you say we give? Now, how much do you give Ludo?
Well, I myself, like almost every leopard gecko owner, should have this calcium dish, and as you can see, there's enough Reptivite for it to kind of go in every so often and have a little lick. And what I do when I'm feeding my crickets, since I don't have this food dispenser, I just kind of grab them in the tweezers, rub them in that, and then just feed it to my leopard gecko.
Yeah, honestly, this is more of a novelty, but we're not really concentrating on this. We're concentrating on the crickets.
Yeah.
So the amount you should feed is around 7 to 8. Now,
Depends what age.
The younger they are, the less they'd need, I think. Anyway, because when they're older, I feed Bindi about 7 or 8 every few days, and she's fine.
I'd feed Ludo around 5 to 8 if it's a great day.
Every other day.
Yeah. So I'd feed Ludo maybe 5. Well, I'd still offer it every day. She might eat she or he might eat 1, and in between the days, and 5 on the other day. But it depends from the gecko's age.
Okay, another thing is there are 2 different types of crickets. People don't really know this, but the best type is really the standard silent, or the brown crickets.
Yeah, there's also some black crickets.
But the problem is with the black crickets, they can actually bite your animal.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, he's actually had experience with that, biting his bearded dragon. So I recommend using these instead because it's safer for your gecko, and they don't make any noise. Because if you didn't know, black crickets can actually make some noise.
Yeah. Well, the only noise they make is if you do this. You
No.
listen to the jumping, but that's
But
it.
with the black crickets, you can actually hear them chirping. Like,
Yeah.
see the one right there, the quite big one there.
Yeah.
The wings. Like, if you see ones with them, you might just want to feed that one quickly because they will make noise.
What will they turn into?
They won't turn into anything.
Oh, so that's adult, is it?
Yeah.
So you
that's
can
an
breed
adult.
of those.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. And how do you tell if they're male or female? Do you know?
Well, actually, I do know here. So, see the big one there?
Yep.
That's a female. And the way you can tell is, here now, if you see those little prongs right there?
Yeah.
If you see them, that means it's a female. And let's see if I can find a male.
I don't think there's any males, but if you know the female has prongs, then you just look for one that doesn't, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it, really. That's how you tell from male to female.
So I think that's about it for this video.
Yeah. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I think that's all.
Yep. Goodbye.
Bye.